Evening, everybody. It's 6:24, and this is your closing comment for Tuesday, the 13th, and it's video number 1578. Today, from my perspective, was one of the ugliest days I have ever seen. Um, the chart on the screen is the S&P, which rallied all the way up to the high here, 4175. That was in September, right before the huge sell-off. Today, 41. 80. So it made a slightly higher high and then closed on the lows. This is really not a good look for the market. The Dow was up over 700, S&P was up well over 100, and the Nasdaq I saw up over 400. So the Dow closed up 103, Nasdaq up 113, S&P up 29, Russell up 1375, and the transports up 1187. Volume was much bigger, almost 50% bigger than yesterday. Traded 6 billion today, but the advanced declines really did not support this kind of move. The Dow was 2.2 to 1 up, and the Nasdaq was just 1.3 to 1 up. Again, as I said, volume much bigger. When you're doing 4.2 or 4.5, a move up to 6 billion is a lot. And again, as I said, I really don't like the way that the charts look because we closed on the low, which means that anybody who bought today during the rally is now underwater. And that is not a pleasant place to be in a market that has just run, over this period from 3,500 all the way up to 4,200 or 4,180. Oracle this morning was 83.75. It was up 247 on the earnings. Got up as high as 85.58, so it was up about $4.50 before turning around and trading all the way down to 79.70, and it actually finished the day just above that and down 88 cents, so up 4% to down 1%. Not a good look. Boeing, which got a huge order, biggest order in history, from UAL. This morning, the stock was about 190. It got up to 191.11 and then came all the way back down to 182.67. But unlike Oracle, it actually closed up on the day, 187 up 73 cents. Moderna was absolutely the home run of the day. This morning, when they made their announcement about the melanoma trial with Merck, the stock was 177 up 12 and 3/4, and Merck was about 111 and 3/4 up 267. By the end of the day, Moderna had been as high as 208.52. Last on it is 201.28, and that is a gain of 22%. Merck, on the other hand, basically stayed exactly where it was. This morning it was 111.64. Tonight it's 110.99. Still up 202, 1.85, but really not overwhelming. VTYX, another one that I mentioned this morning, it has a severe plaque psoriasis treatment. This morning it was trading 37.40, which was up 882 or 31%. It only traded as high as 37 even in the real regular hours, traded down to 33.94, closed at 35, up 6.45, so $2.50 off this morning, but still up 22%. Airlines in general had a horrendous day. All travel, airlines, cruise ships, didn't matter. United and JetBlue were the big features. JetBlue with negative guidance. The stock is down 7.5%. And right behind it is UAL, down 6.87%. So it was a rough day there. And I want to remind you that I mentioned something this morning and I didn't hear it talked about at all today, and that was that China is negotiating all over the world to use the yuan for purchases rather than the dollar. Um, Again, this is a shot across the bow. Both China and the Soviet Union, Russia, have both been heavy in the gold market, taking deliveries, and I cannot help but believe that their goal is to make the U.S. secondary as it relates to um, reserve currency. I know it's a long process. I know it doesn't seem like much. Believe me, it will be. Um, Mortgage apps tomorrow morning, November import export prices, 10:30. Those are at 8:30. 10:30 is crude inventories, and of course 2 o'clock is the Fed decision, and then the press conference after that. Oil up 222, gold up 33. Um, Bitcoin up 630, so not bad there. But as far as all of these were concerned, the only reason that they were higher, from my perspective, I mean, if you have less inflation, there's not a lot of reason for the gold and the silver to be higher. But they were trading absolutely off the interest rates. And, it was a nice breakout. It closed substantially higher, closed up 33 and change, and is down a couple of cents tonight, down $3.50. But you can see it is a big move here from the lows, which we continue to talk about. Around that 1620 area, came up, pulled back, 3 days of consolidation, move higher, higher low, now a higher high. And I might add, I'll just make this a little clearer for you. 5 day through the 200 day. The 200 day, which in the last, let's just see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, in the last 10 days, we have closed above the 200-day MA. 1, 2, 3, 4, well, half the time. And the 200-day is a big deal. Silver, the same thing. All right, everyone. I'll be back first thing in the morning, and I hope everyone had a good day. I actually went home short. Not by much, but I literally bought a couple of S&P puts. My S&P Strangle, if I mentioned it this morning, I know I mentioned it on the Discord room. I paid a total of $502 for an S&P call and an S&P put, both of which expired today. I sold the S&P call on this morning's big move at $805 of income for that, and the puts went expired, worthless. But 805 for 502 overnight seemed like a plan, and I only used 2/3 of that money to do the S&P put on the basis of that horrendous close. All right, everyone, I'll be back in the morning. Hope you had a good one.